How you doing, Mets fans? It's Wardy, and we're back at it talking about the Amazins, and we're back at it continuing our discussion as Jesse Winker has officially arrived in Queens as a New York Metropolitan. So in today's video, we're going to do a further deep dive on not only everything you need to know about Jesse Winker, but why this is without question a slam dunk perfect trade, a perfect fit for David Stearns to acquire the veteran left-handed corner outfielder, and his potential here in Queens is oh so great, and I cannot wait to get into this discussion. So if you haven't checked out our reaction stream to the news late last night at the time of recording this, please make sure to do just that. And again, thank you all so much, everyone that chimed in. Greatly appreciate that as you continue to smash that like and subscribe button for your number one stop for all things news, rumors, post-game shows, everything in between in Mets land here on the WardyNYM platform. But the details have come out, folks, and we're going to break down in depth not only the key details about this deal, everything on the statistical end with Jesse Winker, what he provides, along with his long connection with the Mets here, the stories that go along with it, and why, again, this is such a great fit for both sides. But let's kick it off by getting into the details here, because, again, we did not know last night who the Mets were going to be giving up for Jesse Winker. All we heard from Andy Martino of SNY that it would be a lesser prospect, not a top name, and that held true. It wasn't Mike Vassell, but it was Tyler Stewart. Tyler Stewart, that's deemed by many as a top 20, top 25, sometimes a top 30 prospect in the Mets organization. Certainly not a top pitching prospect for them over the likes of a Brandon Sproat, a Joe Nathan, Christian Scott up until him making his debut this year, along with Blake Tidwell, Dominic Hamill to a degree, and some others. Stewart has been in that mix, and he has been solid at the minor league level, and I wish him the best there in DC, but it was a one-for-one trade for the Metsies, and you simply cannot go wrong, because the Mets just landed, again, a former Met killer, their true villain, a man that appreciates Mets fans more than most, and that is really where I want to have a heavy point of emphasis in today's show as well, but that's going to come more in the second half of this video, because in the first half, I want to go over all the details on the statistical end as to why Jesse Winker makes so much sense. As you guys continue to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below to this one-for-one trade. Winker on a one-year, $2 million deal coming off of, a very respectable campaign thus far with the Nationals. 11 home runs, over 40 RBIs, a 253, 372, 417 clip for right around 800 OPS, a 1.2 WAR, and a 126 WRC+, which means he's 26% better than the average batter in baseball. But there's a lot more to that when it comes to Jesse Winker, as we all know, and why this is such a seamless fit. But there are a couple key numbers I want to break down for you all, and they are as follows. And let's start, and again, we did this yesterday. We will do it once more, because I know we got a lot of people that want to hear and learn more about Winker. When we look at the savant numbers here with Jesse Winker, there are definitely some things that are notable, at least to me, and I'm sure to you as well. We look, of course, there in the 8th percentile and sweet spot in bat speed. Jesse Winker, not known for the bat speed or anything like that. However, this season, he has had a tremendous eye at the plate. We're looking at a 96th percentile in chase percentage. We're looking at 69th in whip percentage, 97th in walk percentage, and 94th in arm value. So even though Jesse isn't a superior defender by any means in left field or right field, he does have a cannon of an arm and can utilize that well when he's playing those respective corner outfield positions, whether it's because, say, Brandon Nimmo gets a day off, Starling Marte isn't playing, or they're going about their outfield configuration different. All I know is the Mets have more options now than ever, and that is never a bad thing. And speaking of options, actually, I want to make sure I don't forget here, DJ Stewart Teddy Bear that we all know and love, even though DJ hasn't performed all that much this season, he has been an awesome story, and I wish him the best as he's officially been sent down to AAA Syracuse as the corresponding move. No shock there, as this is quite literally a DJ Stewart upgrade times 10 that the Mets are landing here, and former Met killer and villain, now friend, no longer a foe, and Jesse Winker. But that's what you have there on all the numbers. Again, definitely notable to see that the expected numbers don't favor Jesse all that much. He's had some luck on his side, along with his base running has truly blown me away. 18th percentile in sprint speed, and also first percentile in base running value, the worst in Major League Baseball, when he has 14 stolen bags this year. Jesse's never stolen bases before up until this season. This is just a new thing he's done, shedding some weight, having more athleticism on the bags. He clearly isn't getting the right jump, nor is he having the proper way to go about the base running, but it's working. So even though the advanced numbers tell you that, hey, Jesse isn't a good base runner, it hasn't stopped him from still stealing bases and having good situational awareness. And you can never have enough base running threats here if you're the Metsies, and I certainly am excited to see Jesse implement that new aspect of his game here in this Mets lineup as soon as humanly possible. And we know that Jesse will be playing for the Mets very soon. He's already in the clubhouse. We saw him interview. We got there early. Pete Alonso, just as an example, longtime friend of Jesse Winker's. They've been playing baseball together, travel ball, since the age of 12, so they gave each other a big hug. They were really pumped up once they saw each other in the clubhouse earlier today, prior to today's series finale game against the Atlanta Braves. So that's what you have there on the Savant numbers. Now, I think some of the most important numbers that we need to talk about today are the clutchness factor with Jesse Winker, because we have highlighted this Mets offense for being absolutely fantastic with clutchness, with two-out situations that we've seen over the past 2 months, which is why the Mets went from a team that looked like they were going nowhere this year to now being one of the best in Major League Baseball, if not the best for the past 2 months. Quite literally, that's how good that they have been. But a couple things stand out here for Jesse Winker, and they are as follows, everybody. With 2 outs, Jesse Winker this season has a 246 batting average and 857 OPS, 5 home runs, 19 RBIs. Runners in scoring position, a 325 average, a 971 on base percentage, 4 home runs, 35 RBIs. With men on base in general, so even if they're just at first, mind you, Pete Alonso is polar opposite in these numbers between the two. Men on base, a 326 average and a 935 OPS. Now let's get into, okay, 2 outs and runners in scoring position, you know, higher leverage situations, a 290 average and a 997 OPS with 2 home runs and 15 RBIs. And late in close games, a 300 average and an 883 OPS. And tied games, a 267 average and 800 OPS. And then we look here again when we're ahead in ball games. Jesse Winker, a 307 average and an 882 OPS. When they're behind, a 210 with a 717. So clearly a guy that thrives and helps a team win, and when he's not performing well, that goes in hand with the team losing. In high leverage situations, Jesse Winker is quite literally one of the best, if not the best option the Mets could have landed for their bang for their buck at the trade deadline. Seriously, this is insane. A 333 average and over 1,000 OPS this season in high leverage. In low leverage, a 231 average and a 700 OPS. So basically, Jesse needs the stakes to be high, and he needs to find himself in a great environment to have success. That is what is so exciting about Jesse Winker, because he's absolutely dominant in high leverage situations, and he's going to be looking to have a big impact for the Mets as their corner outfield / DH option based on matchups, hopefully heading into a deep postseason run with the Metsies in Flushing, Queens this season. And to add some further numbers at you, I want to give a quick shout out to my guy Jolly Olive. If you know, you know. Jolly, a great content creator as well, tweeted this earlier today. Just some further numbers to enlighten you on how good Jesse Winker has been this season, and they are as follows. In the 14 walk percentage, which is first among NL outfielders this season. 374 on base percentage, third. 390 on base percentage versus right-handed pitching, second. 127 WRC plus 126, again, depends if you're taking OPS plus WRC plus, same thing, eighth. Then we look at 139 WRC plus versus right-handed pitching, 6th, and 14 stolen bags, 10th. So yeah, very impressive numbers by Jesse Winker at the NL so far this season, showing a different aspect to his game that he simply hasn't in years prior, a base running ability, a slimness, and even though, again, he's not overly fast, he has had a different approach that has definitely led to success in stealing bases this year and has helped him become more of an all-around player versus what he has been in prior years in his respective career. And just insane numbers there on Jesse Winker. A truly seamless fit here with the Metsies. And before we get into everything there on why this is such a perfect fit, furthermore with Winker, we have to break down the past connection between the Mets and Winker leading up to everything today, including his interviews I'm going to share with you all. But before we do, let's hear a quick word from today's video sponsor, our great friends at Via. Before we get further into the video, I got a key question for all my 21 and up viewers. Guys and gals, are you in the hemp market? Do you guys find yourself enjoying hemp products, but maybe realize it's pretty difficult to receive them, especially because you don't know if said products are legal to acquire in your state? Well, rest assured, we have you covered here with Via, the sponsor of today's video, as they have everything that you're looking for quality hemp products across all 50 states legally delivered. Whether it's going to be CBD products that can help for me personally, as I deal with a lot of anxiety, anxiousness every single week. I certainly defer to them. I'm going to talk about which one specifically I have liked a lot since using Via, which I think is an absolutely fantastic product for all my hemp users out there. Along with, if you're looking for something a little bit more on the elevated standpoint, you're going to be looking for THCA products. Again, from gummies to flower, they have you covered. And as I mentioned, as many of you guys know on the channel, I've been very open about my struggles with anxiety, and they fluctuate, they come and go. So I will have some weeks where I'm fantastic, and then I'll have a week where I'm just an absolute mess, whether it's because I just have a lot of things going on and I'm not properly structured, or just because I'm really overwhelmed on things upcoming, and even though that they aren't here yet, I'm really worried about what is there to come. But something that has helped me greatly throughout my day-to-day from the products that I've tried so far with VIA have been two in particular that I want to highlight here for each and every one of you. And the first is going to be what we have here, VIA THC-free Revive Relief Gummies. These are CBD heavily based with 90 milligrams. There's also CBG and reishi mushroom. I thoroughly enjoyed these, especially after I've been streaming after a long day. I'm just trying to relax, not to the point of getting to bed, but just kind of calming down and enjoying the rest of my evening, especially after, say, a day game. That's where these come into play. But when I am looking for shut-eye, especially as a new father, I know that that fluctuates quite a bit every single night. Some nights you just get a couple hours, some nights you do get a quality sleep, but it has varied every single night for the most part. But something that has helped with those short stints of sleep when I do have them are what we have here with these Zen gummies here, which are their sleep THC-free CBD heavily based gummies here. 130 milligrams of CBD, 20 milligrams CBN, passion flower, and tea in there as well. And these are snoozeberry flavored, which I think is fantastic on the wordplay. So simply put, if you're 21 or older, get in on what we have going with VIA, as you can check them out today by clicking the link in the description and use my code WARDY as you see on the screen. That way you get 15% off your order. And after your purchase, they will ask you where you heard about them. Please make sure you let them know that you heard from your guy Wardy here, as it is greatly appreciated. Make sure to check out VIA today again for all your hemp product needs. Alright guys, you all know that Jesse Winker has had connections for the Mets for years now, but in case you've been living under a rock, let me enlighten you on where these connections stem from and ultimately why David Stearns went out of his way to acquire an in-division rival player, that being in Jesse Winker, and why he is exactly what the Mets have been looking for, not only as a lefty corner outfield / DH bat option, but someone who actually wants to be here. That is very important. David Stearns is here as Mets president of baseball operations, simply put, because he's a diehard Mets fan and loved the opportunity to work with Steve Cohen and again, be the leader of the team that he grew up idolizing. He has made note over this past offseason, heading into the season, that a huge aspect for the Mets acquiring players is guys that know how to have success in a big market, know how to win in New York, or at least know how to perform here in the big stage, even if it is against these big market teams. And Jesse Winker has done exactly that to an absolute T. And this all stems going back to 2019, as you guys see in the highlights. I apologize for the darkness there. I'm not sure what happened. I also hope that that helps things a little bit, because right now, YouTube has been horrendous with their copyright infringement. They have been absolutely just going bananas with the wrong type of claims that we've seen left and right, and that's just a whole lot of controversy that has to do with not only myself, but basically every other MLB creator in the game right now that is up, a certain status, if you will, where, we're making content as consistent as we do right now. Regardless, though, of all that nonsense, as you see here, back in 2019, we saw Jesse Winker hit a bomb off of Edwin Diaz, and then they went on to win the game. The next day, Jose Iglesias hits a bomb off of Edwin Diaz, as you see there. He's hyped up with Jesse Winker, his teammate. Jesse then makes a gorgeous sliding catch to end the ball game and secure the series victory there for the Reds over the Mets. That's when Edwin Diaz was batting practice in 2019 in save situations especially. Jesse waving at fans, having fun, and he also famously signed and kept a sign years ago that a Mets fan made calling him, the B word, which I thought was absolutely hilarious. Then we fast forward to 2022 and his one and depleted year with the Seattle Mariners. He comes to face the Mets there at Citi Field on my brother's wedding night, mind you, May 14th, 2022. I was watching that game late on my phone back at the hotel after the festivities, and then we see Jesse Winker hit the bomb, because of course he does. Again, Jesse Winker has had the flair for the dramatic. He's going to continue to have the flair for the dramatic. That is just the kind of guy that he is, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong in that whatsoever, and I'm definitely happy to see a guy in Jesse Winker be in town here with the Mets now, especially after he hit the bomb against Adrian Hauser. As I was screaming to each and every one of you, that can't happen. It simply cannot be that we are going to have this man match up against Adrian Hauser when he has been tossing batting practice to him, that being in Winker. Mets lose that 4th of July game, and the rest is history. I actually had the other highlights edited. There we go. That we see Winker with Seattle, along with also him in DC hitting that bomb off of Hauser. But let's see what Jesse had to say about, again, Mets fans, along with entering now as a New York Metropolitan, because there are some key quotes that I want to share with each and every one of you. We're going to do exactly that. So let's hop right over here, everybody. Let's go back to 2022. These were Jesse Winker's comments on Mets fans.
I'm going to be honest with you, I love them. They are an amazing group of people. They are very passionate about their team and their city. And from a guy who, born in upstate New York, big fan of that football team up there, I can understand the passion and I respect it. And this thing we got going on is special.
It is special, Jesse. And finally, things have come full circle. And you are a New York Metropolitan. Let's see here. These were Jesse's comments from earlier today, talking about now being a Met and what it means to officially arrive here.
So what was your reaction to getting traded, and when did you find out last night?
It was shortly after my third at bat. And once I found out I was coming here, I was extremely excited. It's such a great team. They've been playing so well. Obviously, I've been in the opposing dugout. And so I'm excited to be a part of it.
Shout out to Jesse. Again, that's a pretty calm approach by him. He's definitely excited here for the fit. He's excited to be with a friend in Pete Alonso, among others. And now, again, he is a New York Metropolitan. Before we get further into the video, everybody, did not mean to have the ad run for a second time there for 2 seconds. But, guys, that is going to do it for the video. Thank you all so much for watching. Let me know in the comments down below, again, what is your initial reaction to Jesse Winker now coming to Mets here, the excitement level behind that, and to finally, last but not least, that I did mean to share with you, and I don't want to forget this part, it's important, is his fit. Why is this such a perfect fit once more? Because, again, this is an upgrade over DJ Stewart. This is a guy with a tremendous eye at the plate that can come off the bench, that can handle the DH position if JD Martinez gets the off day, especially if Jesse's going to be facing more so mainly righty pitching, and then they really platoon things where JDM faces both righty and lefty, but maybe a further emphasis for JD to face some heavier lefty pitching than both just righty and lefty. So they're going to be the platoon basically that Billy Epler wish he acquired 2 years ago at the trade deadline with the Mets. Fast forward 2 years later, the Mets finally got 2 big boppers that make more than enough sense for this Mets team, and now they're going to look to continue their winning ways this Metropolitan season with Jesse Winker in the fold as a corner outfield option, and Starling Marte still working his way back from injury. Once he returns, the Mets have a good problem on their hands with Winker, with Marte, with Tyrone Taylor, with Harrison Bader, and with Brandon Nimmo as all outfield options for them. Of course, not all of them are elite on the defensive end. Only 3 out of those, I would say, are definitely superior in Nimmo and Bader and Taylor. The same cannot be said with Marte and Winker, but all these guys are going to provide jolts for this Mets, not only offense, but on the defensive end at times too, just based on matchups and how they're going to split against opposing pitchers. So I'm really excited. I hope you Mets fans are too, and rest assured, when more news, when more rumors, when more breaking news trades come out, we will break them down to an absolute T here on the channel, the same way we break down in our post-game segments every single game that happens throughout the course of the 162 season. This is your guy Wardy signing out. Thank you so much as always, and as always, no matter what, let's go Mets, baby. Peace out.